Well, that's next year what they're
They're
going to do
changing
with
that for
the
next year.
aerodynamics. And I mean, look at Formula 2.
Formula 2 is
awesome
awesome.
following it. I've been loving F2.
Formula 2 is so fun.
I've been loving F2. It's fucking awesome.
It was so good last year as well, watching Leclerc. Like F2 was just so much fun.
Him, Markelov. Wow.
There's no I don't know. There's no standout driver in F2 for me this year. Maybe like
I like Markelov.
He's got balls, yeah, for sure. But they all do. Oh, for fuck's sake! It's a dry race.
I told you.
I didn't even thought about the weather, and then it just sprung up on us at once.
That it sure did. But anyways, welcome back to another league race, this time with DNS, and this time we are at the Italian Grand Prix. Shittily Italy, as I affectionately call it. And yeah, as you can see, it is a very, very wet Monza for this qualifying session, which I'm all too familiar with by this stage. But I put a few laps of fuel in the car. I want to get a few runs in. I like to feel my way for the track in the first, like by doing kind of a few laps at once. We got provisional pole there with 131.7. Then I went out for another lap and I did a 31.3. So give myself a nice, cemented a nice decent gap there at the top of qualifying for now. I'll go out for a second, or I went in, I came out, I was going to have one hot lap to do this. On the final run, the track seemed to be getting quicker, but I botched turn one and not the best start to my lap. Probably good that I didn't have a delta for this. And I thought, shit, this is going to be difficult to get a faster lap out of this and try and move myself up the order. But there's still time to make up, or time to lose, as it turned out. And this is the big one, I think. I botched that corner, the second chicane. And that was it. I come across the line. I did a faster sector 3, but I don't improve, just off by 10 hundredths. And I'm going to be starting P3 behind Caesar and Tez. Tez with a great qualifying there to stick himself on the front row. So coming into this race, I obviously hate Italy. I hate Monza. I hate driving it in this game. That's more so my problem. So I was going to. I thought to myself, if I could stay P3, I'll be relatively happy. This is before qualifying, because they've got like stuff out not on pole, which is Shoutout, Steve Patton, SJD. Quickly look at the standings just from the point of view of the website there. I'm in third, 150 points, just 3 behind Steve, so I'm starting ahead of Steve today, so and ahead of SJD, so maybe I could get a few inroads on the leaders. Strategy, I want to do the one stop. I want to do a nice aggressive start on the supers and then come in lap 12 for the softs. So simple enough. Here we go. 5 red lights. Monza is one of the worst tracks in the world for turn 1 calamities, but away we go. Good start. Not a bad start at all. Not under threat from behind. Have a look to see if we could possibly change something around the outside of turn 1 for the inside of turn 2. Not happening. Tez closes the space well, and Carl actually gets along my outside, and he's going to put me in on the inside here to the Curva Grande, and I'm like, no, this is not going to happen. I can't be having this. This is not what my race needs right now. So I pull it up into Rich, and late braking as I can, and Carl's going to back out of that one. So I keep that P3 for now, and just try and feel my way around this track. There's a couple of areas of the track where you can lose the back end. This second Lesmo being one of them. That's Spa. Flipping Ascari being another. So just kind of feeling my way through these early stages. But on lap 2, we're going to get a nice big break here, myself and Tez and everyone really, as Caesar lags out of the session. So unlucky for him, but his lag was, Tez was saying at the time, like his lag was making it very difficult, and I saw his lag as well, kind of jumping back into Tez as well. So it could have been nasty for anyone trying to pass him, but that problem was bypassed. Again, unfortunate for Caesar. He'd obviously stuck it on pole. He was in first place, but sadly them's the brakes. But lap 4, we've kind of dropped not dropped the guys, but we've kind of got a decent bit of a gap behind to Steve and Carl, and I'm trying to shape up now. I'm just kind of the early phase of the race. I'm kind of behind Tez. He's got some good pace shown in this track. He's got some wings that are in his favour. He's using less downforce, so he's a bit quicker on the straights, and I was using a bit more downforce than he was. But lap 7, we're kind of now... He was ahead by a little bit, by like a second or so, but lap 7, getting near, like kind of halfway, just over halfway through the stint, we're beginning to reel him in a bit, as he seems to be struggling a little bit. But it's very difficult to pass around this track if you're running a higher downforce setup like I am. I'm running 2.7 wings, but I'm going to try my best to have a sniff. A lot of my problem this race was my run out of Ascari, but got a really good run there. And now I feel like, yes, here we go. Here's my first opportunity to possibly get the move done. So Tez goes defensive, which means I'm going to have to try and drive around the outside of him. Through Parabolica can be done, but it can be difficult, and I don't get it done on this occasion. But there is a DRS. I could probably try and hop into that. Maybe have a look down into turn 1 if the space opens up. DRS, but you're going to see Tez goes defensive late, and again I had to try and drive around the outside, and he covers the track well, so I can't get by. I tried for the switch back, but again he's positioned his car well, and I can't get by on this occasion on lap 8. Lap 8, later that lap actually, again back in the DRS, and I think I get a poor run out of Ascari, and this is going to put Steve right on the back of me, and I'm thinking, no, this isn't what I need. This is great for Tez because we're battling here. He can kind of get a bit of a safe gap, but this is not what I need now. I really need to be getting this done, let alone trying to keep my position. But I keep her on the inside of Parabolica, keeping it rich, and I'm going to survive this one, although Steve gets close. Nearly just by side, heading down the start finish straight. He goes the outside for turn 1, goes inside for turn 2, late on the brakes, and then I held that one nicely. So still P2, P1 is right there as well. So, but of course Steve is on the soft compound tire, so I was hoping he would go onto the mediums, but as it turns out he's going onto the super softs. So didn't know at the time. Very hairy moment there. I almost run into the back of Tez, just unsighted, a bit braking, and then having to defend from Steve, but thankfully I've got enough straight line speed, I think, to hang it tight in the Curva Grande, and then passing into this corner is very difficult, so keep your car in the middle of the track. Nothing much that he can do to get by on that occasion, and I get a nice, beautiful warning there, so that's great. Lap 11, I considered doing the undercut, and that's probably what I should have done in hindsight, but it wasn't. Tyres felt good enough, so I decided to keep going on these super softs to keep to my stint, keep going to lap 12. Again in the DRS of Tez, but yeah, not much I can do. He's got the track well covered, so yeah. So, but now this is the make or break lap now, I have to say. So, well, not make or break. Like I'm coming in this lap, put on the soft compound tires. I get another warning there. That's just great. But a decent run because of it out of Parabolica, or sorry, out of Ascari. Genie Mac, I'm all over the place today. He goes defensive again. Does Tez? I'm not really inclined to try and drive around the outside. You can't see I'm quite conservative on the throttle and a bit on the brake, because there's no point trying to move when I'm going into the pits, and then he ends up pulling as well. Brake nice and early. I do so, but Tez speeds into the pit lane. And there's a 5-second stop-go penalty, which will become a 10-second for it being unserved. So that's unlucky. Anyways, we bolt on the soft compound tires. I'm hoping that maybe I can get ahead of him in the pit stops, but no. He stays ahead, and he's also on the softs, so he knows the strategy as well. And that's unfortunate. I thought maybe he might go on to the mediums. Anyways, pop out P8 safely, so... But... it's now critical to get some good out laps in, because Steve and Carl are both on the softs, and they'll be running tyres near the end of the race. That might be super soft, might be medium, but they might stay in front if the result of the overcut possibly on those tyres. I get all sorts out of shape again. Turn 1, my braking's a bit unsighted, slowly across the chicane, so you don't get a penalty for kind of putting the throttle down through it, gaining an advantage. So I lost a good bit of time here, coming through the first sector split. Yeah, excuse me. I lose about a second and a half, 2 seconds. So not good, not good when the guys in front have to pit. Speaking of, it's go time. Heading on to lap 16. Steve has pitted. Carl has pitted. Steve's going to get himself just behind Tez. And I was horrified I was going to be high behind Carl, but I jumped Carl. Keep that P6. But he is on the super soft tyres, and my fears were confirmed that they were doing the soft, super soft run. So that was a concern. I didn't make the most of the super soft tyre when they were on soft. Couldn't get by Tez, and now I'll pay the price as a result. Lap 17 though, where we kind of got back in the DRS of Tez. Carl behind us as well. Carl apparently didn't have slipstream this race, or at least during the second part of it, and then his DRS broke at the same time. So not exactly great for Carl, but he gets a good run out of Ascari. Again, on the super soft tyres, I can only kind of fight that so much on the softs, but my exits out of Ascari were poor to begin with. Lap 18, I'm defending now from Carl, leaving the space on the inside. Bit of contact on my rear wheel, but nothing, no damage done there, and I keep that provisional P4. I leave it Zach in front as the one left to pit, so when this shakes out, I'll still be in P3, but Tez will be P2, and then SJD10 will be P1. Coming on to lap 19, you can see the kind of problem Carl has. He's right there. He should be able to pass me. He's got DRS open this time, I believe, and he's just not making any ground at all. Like it's gonna be easy for me to defend. Well, not easy. I mean, he's on the inside, leaving the space, but I'm gonna have the better traction coming out of that corner. So I keep that P3, which was my big concern at this point. But I think I had a penalty by this stage, and I was working on another, so I knew that the order might already be set, with Steve in first, Carl in second if he doesn't get a penalty, myself third, and then Tez with his stop-go unserved in fourth. But speaking of Tez, we get a good run out of Parabolica. Carl's dropped a bit behind us due to his problems, and I'm thinking, ooh, could this be another chance to get by Tez? So if I can get by Tez, that'd be big. Maybe my penalty, I could get by. I might hold Carl up. I can get my penalty window. Goes defensive, and then kind of misses the apex completely, and puts his car in a place where it's just impossible for me to actually do anything, because I want to try the switchback, because of how his car was positioned and the nature of that turn too. There's nothing I can do. So some people might call that dirty. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it didn't really bug me off at the time, and it doesn't really now, but some people might. And look, one of those, you're defending the position, you miss the corner, and you can still make the second corner. So make the second corner and still keep the position, given the nature of that corner. It's quite harsh. So, but anyways, keeping with it, lap 21 again, DRS on the back straight, or the second DRS straight, but passing into Ascari is a suicide mission unless you're right alongside. So nothing doing there. Lap 23 again, stuck behind Tez. I feel like I am quicker, but on the whole of things, more so through the downforce sections than the straight line speed. But because I don't have the straight line speed, I can't do much. Now Tez was on the pace today, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I could have gone a bit quicker had I not been stuck in the dirty air. So which I think all people will feel that way if they're in my position. So anyways, again, nothing doing, and just kind of biding the time. Get a good run out of this second chicane here, but not the traction on exit that could really launch me down the inside into the first Lesmo. And he's actually going to pick up DRS here from Caesar's ghosted car. And I'm going to have Carl for company right behind me as well. His DRS actually just got enabled again, and I'm under pressure again from Carl. So, excuse me. So you can kind of see how this race has gone. Steve has kind of run away at the front, and now that he's by Tez, I'm by me. It wasn't really that close in the end. He was able to get the job done and create the gap. But for myself, look, I hate this track. A podium is still possible here, so have to crack on with it. But we have to crack on with it. Lap 24, I get a good run, good bit of slipstream, good DRS out of the final corner. Again, I think Tez is going to go defensive, middle of the track. And middle of the track, but I'm not far enough down the inside to really make a move into turn 1, and neither is Carl on me. So again, we have a bit of a stalemate here in Italy. I can't get by Tez, Carl can't get by me, and we're both kind of well behind SJD 10. But here, lap 26, I'm beginning to think, am I ever going to get this move done? I actually get a really good run out of Ascari, one of my best of the race. And I had to save, you might have noticed I was very low on fuel. Had to save a bit of fuel. But now I've kind of saved some leans through some of those slower corners. Get a good run out of Parabolic. I'm thinking it's the last lap. If it's there, I'm going to go for it. So stick up into Rich. Nothing much to lose at this stage. Get the DRS. Tez goes defensive again. I'm thinking last lap, I'm going to go for it. There's a gap there. Tez can't close that door. I'm coming down the inside. And I make the corner basically. I went deep, but I still made the corner, similar to what Tez did earlier in the race. So I got that move done. So I was really chuffed to get that move done. Ultimately, it did not make a difference. That move, it did not make a difference because I had 2 penalties, Carl had none, and Tez did have that unserved stop go. So that changed nothing in the grand scheme of things. Steve still won, so good job to him. Carl is going to finish 4th on track, but he's going to finish 2nd. I'm going to finish 2nd on track, and finish 3rd. And the reason why I'm actually showing a 4th is because that 10-second penalty wasn't applied to Tez's final result. So that will be applied, and I'll put him P4. It'll put me P3, and I'll push Carl P2. But look, a podium at Italy at Monza, one of my least favourite tracks. I won't complain. I'll definitely take that, finishing ahead of the likes of Steve, my nearest championship rival, ahead of Shoutout as well. So I'll take it. I will definitely take it. That is it for round number 13 of DNS. Now we can get to the tracks I really like, and I feel some of my strengths will come through. Excuse me. First up is Singapore. So a nice race around the streets of Singapore should be fun. So until next time, later.